Okay. All right. So, blocks and straps. If you didn't grab them before, grab them now. And then we're going to start seated. So we're going to do probably shoulders and hips. Probably. I might think of other stuff. Okay, there we go.
I'll wake you up in an hour.
Wait, I think I said seated, not laying down. You gotta mute me on my hands.
Maybe not. Wake up. That already happened. Where's everybody?
Okay, all right, so let's do, let's start with our 6 directions of the spine. We'll probably do 7. So first 2 directions, we've got cat and cow. If it's comfortable, you can sit cross-legged. If not, you can have your legs out straight. And we're gonna start with our cat and cow first. We're gonna exhale cat, inhale cow, looking up, exhale back to cat. So just back and forth between the 2, letting the spine warm up. Excellent. All right, 1 or 2 more in each direction. Nice. Okay, back to neutral. And then let's go ahead and do our laterals. So that's our side to side option, since we have the blocks, is to come and put one hand on the block as you come over, or on the floor, whatever you like. So we're gonna go nice and slow and breathe into that side there. So inhale, bring this arm up. You can go up to the midline. If you wanna go further over, that's fine, but just know that we're still kind of warming up here. Excellent. Let's do one more time each side. Excellent. And then back to neutral. All right. Next, we're going to do a gentle and slow twist. All right. So inhale, sitting up nice and tall. Exhale, turn to the first side. Inhale, center. Exhale, second side. So I want to keep this twist in this upper half to upper third of the spine. The lower down we go, the less range of motion there is. So we don't want to put too much torque pressure on anything. Excellent. All right, one more time each side. Nice, and then back to center. So from here, let's go ahead and bring the legs out straight if they're not already. And let's do a couple forward folds. So we're gonna use our friend gravity. Inhale, bring the arms up, and then exhale, we're hinging at that hip joint, fold forward, tap down wherever you reach, and then inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, fold forward, tap down, inhale, exhale, back down, and one more time, inhale all the way up, and then exhale, fold forward. We're going to grab the legs wherever you reach, pull the chest forward, and then exhale, drop the chin, round the spine. Excellent. When you're ready to come up, you're going to extend the arms over the legs, push the legs into the floor. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, and release. Nice. All right. While we're here, let's do a little wide-legged forward fold. So you don't have to go super wide with this, but we are going to bring maybe the feet off the mat if that's comfortable. And we're going to do one side, the other side, and then the center. So take one foot, we're going to bring it into the thigh of the opposite leg. And then the other thing you can do is kind of walk the hips back a little bit so we're sitting on the sit bones. Use gravity again. Inhale, bring those arms up. We're going to turn the belly button to face that extended leg. Exhale, fold forward. Tap down. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, fold forward. Tap down. Inhale. And then one more time. Exhale. We're going to come down. If you want, you can cross the wrists over each other and then over that shin. Drop the head. Take a couple breaths here. Getting comfortable being uncomfortable. Excellent. When you're ready to come out, extend the arms over the leg. Push the leg in, inhale, and then turn back to center. Exhale and release. All right, bring that leg in, extend the other leg out. Come back up on those sit bones. Inhale, arms up. Turn the belly button to face that extended leg. Exhale, fold forward. Tap down, inhale, come back up. Exhale, fold forward. Tap down, inhale, bring it up. And then one last time down. Exhale, fold forward. You can cross the wrists over the shin, drop the chin. Excellent. And then to come out, extend the arms over that leg, push the leg into the earth. Arms come up, back to center. Exhale and release. Nice. All right, both legs out. They don't have to be super wide, but they can be as wide as the mat or wider. And then we're not gonna use gravity here. We're just gonna use our hands in front. So we're gonna bring our hands in front. Again, sitting up nice and tall up on the sit bones. So we'll take an inhale here. And then on the exhale, we're just gonna walk the hands forward, keeping the knees soft, maybe relax the feet. And just as you're breathing, relax into any tightness that you're finding probably on that back side of the legs, calves and hamstrings. Excellent. When you're ready to come out, we're just going to use the hands. On the inhale, walk the hands up, keeping the spine nice and straight, or straight-ish. All right, we're going to bring the hands under the knees, walk the feet back to the center. Wrap the arms around the knees, drop the chin, and rock side to side. Excellent. And then release that. We're going to, we'll do the ankles and the wrists and then come up to hands and knees. All right, so first let's do the feet. So the legs are extended out in front. We're going to draw the toes back towards the chest, sitting in as close to a 90 degree as comfortable. A little softness in the knees, pulling the toes back. And then we're going to point and flex. So you can do both together, one at a time, opposites, whatever feels good. Excellent. Release that one. And then we're going to do circles around with the ankles. Start with one, do them both together, go opposites, going in both directions. Excellent. You release that one. And then the supinate and pronate, so the sole of the foot turns side to side. You do both together, one at a time, or opposites. Excellent, release that, and shake it out if you want. And then we're gonna finish with windshield wipers. So 2 options with that, you can go just side to side, or I kind of like doing the legs a little wider, toes in, toes out. Excellent, release that and shake it out. All right, coming up to the wrist. And again, if you want to sit cross-legged or legs straight out, whatever's more comfortable. So tuck the thumb, wrap the fingers, and make circles with the wrist. And then bigger circles getting into the elbows and the shoulders. Excellent, release that, shake it out. Then we're gonna bring palms together, interlace the fingers, and make figure 8s. Excellent, release that. We're gonna pull the hands apart, switch which fingers on top. Do a couple more. Excellent, release that and shake it out. Nice. All right. So grab your blocks. We're gonna come up to hands and knees. All right, so we're gonna start with our fabulous cat and cow. So exhale, cat, inhale, cow. Excellent. Okay, release that. We're gonna grab our blocks and let's do our low lunge first, and then we'll do our baby camel. All right. So we're gonna bring both blocks up to the front here. Have them both over to the left. And then we're gonna take this right leg and swing it out and around, bring it up front, and then center it, or if you've got room, you can go straight through. All right, so first thing we want to do is bring the hips down towards the floor. So this front knee is going to go past the toes possibly. And we're opening up this hip flexor on the left side. Excellent. Okay, so back up to neutral. And then we're going to do a series of options. First option, stay here. Second option, we can bring this hand up onto that bent knee. Next option is hands up towards the ceiling. And then last option is to bring pelvis back down towards the floor. Excellent. All right, so come back up to neutral. Hands come down. Hands come down. And then let's do, while we have this foot on this side, let's do a revolved low lunge. So we're going to take the left hand, and that's going to stay on the block, but you may want to do the block to a lower level or possibly hand on the floor. Then we're going to take this right hand and bring it up towards the ceiling. Excellent. All right. So take one more breath here. And then let's bring that hand down. Bring the other hand up, and then we're going to switch legs. So if you want, you can go straight through or bring the blocks over to the right, left leg out and around, and then center. First order of business, we're going to send the pelvis back down towards the floor. Excellent. Back up to neutral, and then we're going to go step by step here. So hands on that knee. Option to stay at any point. Next option is hands up towards the ceiling. And one more, bringing that pelvis back down towards the floor. Excellent. We'll come back up to neutral. Hands down to the knee. And then hands down to the block. And then let's do that revolved low lunge. So you can keep your hand on the block, maybe flip it lower, or option to bring that hand to the floor. Then we're going to take this left hand and bring it up towards the ceiling. Take a breath or so here. And then we'll bring it back down. And then back to blocks. All right, so send that knee back. We're going to do our baby camel from here. Don't overdo it. It's a back bend and it's a nice stretch for the front of the hips. So we're going to take the blocks and walk them back to about the calf, probably. All right, so let's do, we'll do the arm swings first, and then we'll do the back bend part. All right, so we have the blocks here in case we get a little wobbly. And then we're gonna inhale, bring one hand up towards the ceiling, and then exhale, bring it back down. And then the other side. So if it's okay with your neck and your balance, you can look up with the hand. That's going to give you just the easiest of the back bend, having the head look up. If that feels not very stable, just keep your gaze down. All right, last one. Nice. Okay, so from here, next we're going to do more of a back bend. So you're going to take the hands and bring them on the kind of the upper hips. And if anytime that you get a little dizzy here, which is possible, hopefully it doesn't happen, then you're going to come down into a child's pose. All right, so we're going to inhale and look up, and then send the pelvis forward a little bit. Exhale, come back to neutral. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale. And then last time. Inhale. And exhale. Excellent. All right. Third option, if you want to do any of the other things that we just did before, the arms up or whatever, I'm going to go one side back closer to camel. So what camel looks like full expression is hands on the heels, like that. Don't get dizzy. But here's what we're gonna do instead of going all the way back into that. We're just gonna bring our hands to the blocks. So if you wanna move the blocks closer to the ankles, you can do that. And that's why we did this warm up with the arms. You can bring the arm back and then put it on the block. You can do one side at a time or attempt both sides. And then inhale, come back up. Excellent. All right, so from here, we're going to exhale and then come all the way down to child's pose. You can move the blocks out of the way. If child's pose doesn't work for you, you can always come into puppy pose. Excellent. Take one more breath here. And then we'll come back up to hands and knees, and we'll do gate pose, and then we'll come up to standing. All right. It's a lot on the knees here today. Okay, so gate pose. We're going to send one foot out to the side. And then this Same hand with the foot out. Inhale, bring it up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring it back down. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. And last one. Inhale. And exhale. Nice. Tuck that knee under, send the other foot out. And that hand's going to go up towards the ceiling. Inhale. And exhale. Again, inhale. And exhale. And one last time. Inhale. And exhale. Nice. All right, so let's come up to a high gate pose. And since we have blocks, if you need a block for switching legs, that's there. All right, so back to one leg comes out. And this hand can be on the hip or down that leg. And then we're going to inhale, bring this opposite arm up. And then exhale, hand towards the foot. Inhale, vertical. Exhale, over. Inhale, up. And one more time. Exhale. Inhale, vertical. And exhale, and release. So if you have your block and you want to use it to switch knees or legs, whatever you call it, you do that. Or come down to the floor, that's fine too. Hand on that hip or down that leg. We're going to inhale the opposite arm up. And then exhale, bring that hand towards the foot. Inhale, vertical. Exhale, over. Inhale, up. And one more time. Exhale, over. Inhale, up. And then exhale, release. So any option that you want to get up to standing, you can do. I like to practice this one where I bring this foot in front. Curl the toes of the back foot. And step up. So you can use your hands on that leg to push up, or if you need to come down and then come back up, that's fine too. All right. So yeah, move your stuff off your mat. And then let's come into our moving balance. We'll start with our palm tree pose. So options, first option is just coming up on the toes. Nice, and then if you want, you can add the arms, or if you don't want to do the feet, you can do just the arms, or whenever you're ready, putting them both together. So this is our axial extension, so the 7th direction of the spine. Excellent. All right, let's do one more. Nice. And if you want, you can shake it out. And let's do our other one, our flying crane, Karate Kid. And let's do opposite today. All right, so we're gonna start with the hands out to the sides. Lift one knee up, touch with opposite hand, back down, and then other side. Excellent. All right, let's do one more time each side. Nice. And again, anytime you want to shake it out. All right, let's do our mountain pose, and then we're going to grab the strap for a quick shoulder movement thing here. Whatever you call it. Okay, so feet can be toes together, heels apart, hip width distance, or shoulder, whatever feels good today. And then we want to have that neutral pelvis, so tilting forward and back. Soften the knees, collarbones away from each other or shoulder blades together on the back body. Palms forward or towards each other. And then most important, breathing. Excellent. And then release that. Shake it out. And then we're going to grab our straps. All right. So if you have shoulder issues, don't overdo this, or don't do it at all. That's an option always. If something doesn't work with what's going on with you, it's totally fine. You can always opt out. So we're going to think of two things right now. I might think of something else in the meantime while we're doing. Okay, so we're going to take the strap arms out as wide and then maybe wrap it once. This is a short strap. Oh, we'll deal with it. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. So like almost anything else we do, we kind of warm up first. So we're just going to start by bringing it up towards the ceiling. A couple times like that. And if this is as far as you go, that is perfectly fine any day. If you have a little bit more of range of motion and you want to go past the head, you can do that. And then option to go a little bit further. But like I said, warming up as you go. If you want to go all the way over, just make sure you can get back. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to come back, bring the strap in front, and then we're going to bring it up top. And then let's just do a few laterals with this because that feels good. Excellent. All right, since we did that, let's go ahead and do our twist. So it's almost like having a pole, but it's not straight. Excellent. Back to center. And then the last one that we're going to do with these standing up, because we can do some leg stuff later. We're going to take the strap in one hand, wrap it around so it doesn't come loose. And then we're going to go palm up and then bring the arms straight up. And then we're going to bend at the elbow. So the strap should be behind you now. And then we're going to take the other hand, bring it around and grab the strap. And we're going to be opposing forces here. So we're pulling the upper hand down and the lower hand up. Some people can reach their hands and grab each hand. Not anymore. used to in maybe elementary school. Okay, take one more breath here. And then it's important how we get out of this. We don't want to just release it off to the side. So we're going to drop the lower hand and we're going to lift the upper hand towards the ceiling and then bring it forward. All right, switching hands. Bring the strap in the other hand, palm up, hand up towards the ceiling, and then bend the elbow so you're kind of patting yourself on the back. And then we'll take this back arm around, grab the strap. And then take a couple breaths. Excellent. When you're ready to release it, release the bottom arm first. We're going to point that hand up towards the ceiling, bring that arm forward, and then release. All right, so we're going to take the strap and move it out of the way so you don't trip on it. And then let's do some warriors here. All right, so we'll start with warrior 1. We're going to turn one foot out, step that first foot forward. And we'll start with warming up the knee here. So inhale, straight leg, exhale, bend. We're going to keep the torso perpendicular to the floor so we're not leaning forward. You can have your hands on your hips or down by your sides. If that back leg, the calf is tight, you can bend that back knee as well. Or you can move the feet closer, further apart, this way. Excellent. All right, push off, step back, or step that back foot forward. Let's go to the other side, turn that foot out, step that second foot forward. Inhale, straight leg, exhale, bend. Excellent. And that knee, push off, step back, or step that back foot forward. Check it out. And then, let's do this one. All right, so back to the first foot. We're gonna do this one. So arms out in front. Inhale, open, bend that front knee. Exhale, back. So don't overdo this because you'll feel it tomorrow. But the idea is once the arms are all the way open, pulling the shoulder blades together. Excellent. One last time. And then we'll switch sides. Drop the arms, step the feet back together. And if you want to do a different version of the arms, that's totally fine. Otherwise, hands out in front, inhale, open, exhale, closed. Excellent, and one more time. Nice, drop the hands and step the feet back together. All right, so let's do our warrior 2. Bring one foot in front, back foot's at 90 degrees-ish. Hands at the heart, arms open out to the side, bend that front knee over that front ankle. Soften the shoulders. And then let's do some movement here. So we're going to bend the front elbow, bring it down to that front thigh. This back hand can be hand on the hip, hand up towards the ceiling, or bicep over the ear. When you're ready, and with an inhale, we're going to come into peaceful warrior. Front hand comes up towards the ceiling. You can look up at that hand, the horizon, or down at the floor. And then let's do it again, side angle pose. And inhale, peaceful warrior. One more time through, exhale, side angle pose. And inhale, peaceful warrior. Nice, let's come back to warrior 2. And drop the arms and step the feet back together. And then go to the other side. All right, hands to the heart, arms open out to the side, bend that front knee over that front ankle. And then when you're ready, we're gonna bend that front elbow, side angle pose. This upper hand can be hand on the hip, hand up towards the ceiling, or bicep over the ear. When you're ready, and with an inhale, peaceful warrior, front hand comes up towards the ceiling. And then exhale back to side angle pose. Inhale again, peaceful warrior. Nice. And one more time through side angle pose. And inhale, peaceful warrior. Nice. Back to warrior two. And we'll drop the arms and step feet back together. Awesome. All right, check it out. All right, so I have an idea we're gonna try. If you have a suspect balance, I'm going to recommend a chair, and I can get you one if you think you want a chair. So we're gonna do tree pose, and then we're gonna do like a hip balance thing. I don't know what its name is, but we'll think of something, right? So if you want, I gotta find a spot where the floor is flat over here. You can do your tree pose with a block. Looks like that. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. Nope, that's a nope. That's a hard nope. Okay, that's fine.
That's called falling.
That's called falling. Okay. You can do that if you want. You could do with a wall or a chair. So we're getting used to that instability and strengthening that muscle memory to come back to. All right. So, all right, let's just do our tree pose. If you want to do it on the block, awesome. If you don't, that's fine. So here we go. So we're going to pick a foot. You could also do the bent knee up on the block if you want. I'm going to practice something like that. I think I'm going to do this here. All right, so hands at the heart. Rooting that down, nice straight hip, nice strong hip on that straight leg, hands at the heart. We're gonna grow our branches. And if you want, you can have the arms wherever you like. If you're up on something, maybe moving them might not be the thing. Makes it a little bit more wobbly, right? And then if you're feeling a little wobbly, you can extend from the top of the head. And most important, we're breathing. And then whenever you're ready, coming out nice, fingers. Excellent. All right, don't trip over your block. And then let's try the other side. All right, get your feet where you like. Strong hip on that straight leg, hands at the heart. We're gonna grow our branches and start breathing right away instead of waiting. Excellent. One or two more breaths here. And then when you're ready, coming out nice and graceful. Excellent. All right, check it out. And then let's try this little hip thing here. Experiment. It doesn't work. We don't have to keep it, but it looks kind of fun. All right. So if you have a little wobbly with the balance and you want a chair or a wall, we can do that. So we're going to stand with one foot on the block, and we want to have this other foot kind of parallel to the, so like if you were standing with both feet on the blocks. And then we're going to drop the hip down and bring it up higher. So if you're watching my left hip, it's coming up and going down. And if you have to touch the floor, that's totally fine. But we're getting this stability here as you're doing your jazz hands. Woo!
Are you bending your right knee?
My right knee is bent a little bit, yeah. To come down lower, it's got to bend a little bit. Okay. Step off, shake it out. One side's gonna be easier than the other because we all have kind of asymmetrical habits like crossing your legs or sleeping funny. All right, this side might be a little trickier for me. All right, so bring it up and drop it down. All right, release, step off, move your block so you don't trip over it. And let's do one of two more things with blocks. All right, this is optional. If you like high lunge a different way, that's totally fine. I'm gonna do the blocks, try them anyway. All right, so we can do a high lunge without the blocks, but this kind of adds on to the strength and being moving while we're trying to balance too. All right, so we're standing about torso distance back from the blocks. I'm gonna step 1 foot forward in between them. Exhale, come down to the blocks. That back foot should be all the way down on the mat. And then we're gonna inhale, bring the hands up. And then exhale, you can bring the hands back down to the block, step back, and come back. All right, let's try that again. So we're gonna step forward, bend forward, inhale, come back up. And then exhale, you can drop the hands and then step back. All right, one more time. So step forward, bend over, inhale, come back up. And then exhale, arms down, step back. All right, let's try the other side. May not be as easy, maybe easier, we'll see. Step forward, fold forward onto the blocks. Inhale, exhale the arms down, and then step back. All right, that wasn't horrible. Wasn't my favorite, but it wasn't horrible. All right, step forward again. Fold forward to the blocks. Inhale. Drop the arms, step back. And then we got one more. All right, step forward. Fold forward. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, arms down. And step it back. All right. So we'll move the blocks out of the way. And all right, so we're gonna do a couple of wide-legged stuff and then we'll come down to the mat. So option to do it, your feet as wide as the narrow width of the mat or turn sideways on the mat like this. All right, so let's start with pinwheels. We're gonna bring the hands out to the sides. Inhale. On the exhale, bring one hand to the opposite leg, wherever you reach. Inhale, bring it back up. And then exhale, other side. Inhale, up. And then exhale, over. Nice, let's do one more time each side. Excellent. And then from here, you can drop the arms, step the feet together. And then we're gonna do rainbow pose. Since we have blocks, if you wanna grab a block for your rainbow pose, you're welcome to do that. And then wide leg again. All right, so looks like this. We're gonna hinge at the hip joints. Exhale, fold forward. Bring the hands down to your block or the floor or chair, wherever you're reaching. And then on the inhale, we're gonna lift one arm up, hand towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring it back down. Second side, inhale. And exhale, back down. Inhale to the first side. Exhale back down. Inhale, second side. Exhale, bring it back. And one more time, each side. Inhale. And exhale. Last time, last side. Inhale. And exhale. Excellent. Okay, bend the knees. Hands come to the hips. We're going to inhale, come up with a straight spine. And then from here, you can heel toe the feet together or hop if you want. Shake it out. And then one last time with the wide leg, we're going to do half sun salutation. All the options, you don't have to do wide-legged, and you don't have to do the arms straight. So if you like the arms out to the side better, do that one. I'm going to do arms straight. All right, here we go. So we're going to inhale, arms up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to the front of the legs. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees. Inhale, bring the arms up. And then exhale, arms down. All right, two more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees. Inhale, arms up. Exhale. Next, last one. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees, arms to the ears. Inhale. Exhale, arms down, and done. All right. Sorry. Heel toe the feet back together, or you can hop. And then we're going to squat. Come down to the mat, or if you just want to sit on the mat, that's fine too. And have your strap and one block handy. If you want to do a squat, you can do that, or if you just want to sit on the floor, that's fine too. And then falling gracefully on the floor, because how else do you get there? All right. So we're just going straight onto the spine because I got more stuff than time today. Hands on the knees, we're going all the way onto the flat of the back. And let's do Apanasana and then grab your strap. All right. Both knees into the chest, exhale, knees in, inhale, knees out. So the hands are on the knees. We're just moving couple of inches. So this is a counter pose for the twists and the laterals and all that fun stuff. So I want to get the spine back to symmetrical. Excellent. Okay, so let's bring the feet down to the mat, grab your strap, and we're going to bring the right foot into the strap, and that right foot goes up towards the ceiling. So we've done this plenty of times without the strap, but since I remembered to have you grab them, we're gonna do it with the strap today. Okay, so right foot is up in the strap, foot is up towards the ceiling. The hands are on the straps, but instead of gripping the strap really hard with the hands and having the hands up near the foot, we want to loosen the grip and see if we can get the back of the arms on the floor. May not be comfortable to go all the way, but maybe lower would be better. It's better for the shoulders anyway. All right, so take an inhale. On the exhale, we're going to draw that leg in towards the torso, and then inhale, release it back out. The left leg can be straight out, or that knee can be bent, foot in the mat. Let's do that again. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, bring it out. And one more time. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, out. Awesome sauce. All right. So we're going to take both straps in the right hand. Left arm comes out to the side. And we're going to drop that right leg off towards the right side of the floor. And then bring it back up, out to the side, and bring it back up. And one more time, out to the side, and bring it back up. Awesome. All right, we're gonna switch hands, both straps, and the left hand, right arm out to the side. This time we do need to move the left leg straight out of the way. And then we're just gonna gently let that right foot over to the left side of the floor. Excellent. We're gonna bring it back up to the top. And while that right foot is up there, we're gonna lift that left foot up into the strap, bring that right foot down. All right, one strap in each hand, and try and loosen the grip so it's not tight, and maybe slide the hands down so they're closer to so the elbows are closer to the floor. Inhale, and then on the exhale, bring that leg in towards the torso. Inhale, release it back out. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, out. And one more time. Exhale, bring it in. And inhale out. Nice. All right. Both straps in the left hand, right arm out to the side. We're going to drop that left leg out to the left side of the floor. Inhale, bring it back up. And then back out. Inhale, bring it up. And then one more time, exhale out to the side. And inhale up. Nice. We're going to grab both straps with the right hand. Left arm comes out to the side. Move that right leg out of the way. And we're just going to gently drop that left leg across the body to the right side of the floor. Take a couple breaths here. Excellent. Let's bring that leg back up to the top. And then we're going to release the foot from the strap without smacking yourself in the face. Move this strap out of the way. And then let's do another round of Apanasana. And then we'll do our bridge pose. So since we have the blocks, you're only going to need one. And this is optional. Obviously, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. So we're going to take the block and put it in between the thighs. We want to bring the heels as close into the torso as you can. And we're just going to do a regular flavor bridge pose, arms and hips. Not all the fun little extras this time. Anyway, maybe next week we'll do more bridge pose. Okay. So arms down by your side. Feet and knees and hips are lined up. We're going to push the feet into the floor. Inhale, lift, arms up, hips up. Exhale, arms down, hips down. So you can try it with the block, and if you don't like it, you can move it, or if you don't want it, that's fine too. Inhale, lift, and exhale, release. Go ahead and do a couple more on your own, going nice and slow. Done a lot of stuff today that we don't usually do, so there might be some tightness or sore that we built up. All right, finish the one you're on and do two more. Excellent. Okay, move the block out of the way, and we'll finish up with just a few more Apanasanas. Bridge pose is a back bend, so we want to counter pose that. Excellent. All right, feet come down to the mat. Knees can stay bent, our legs can come straight out. I'm gonna finish off with our palm tree pose arms. So our arms start down by our side. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, arms back down by your sides. Excellent. Finish the one you're on and do 2 more. And then it's time to get ready for our final relaxation pose. If you have a chair and want to use it, you can put your feet up on the chair. I'm going to sit up so you can hear me better. And getting any last little wiggles out. Let's do a full body relaxation, walking up the body, relaxing each part as we go, starting with the feet. Relax the toes. Let's do relax the tops of the feet, soles of the feet, and the heels. Release the ankles. Relax the calves and shins. Release the knees and the space behind the knees. Relax the tops of the thighs and the backs of the thighs. Let the pelvis be heavy and sink into the earth. Relax the abdomen. Release the rib cage and let go of breath. The shoulders be heavy and sink into the earth. Relax the upper arms, elbows, and lower arms. Release the wrists. Relax the hands, fingers, and palms. Relax the throat and the back of the neck. Release the jaw. Smooth the forehead and face. Let any last thoughts seep out the top of the crown of the head. Let the earth's gravity hold you. Let the air around you breathe you. Take the next few moments and just be. Gently coming back into awareness. Wiggle your toes. Wiggle your fingers. If you'd like, you can roll your head side to side. When you're ready, and with an inhale, rolling over onto your right or left side. When you're ready, and again with an inhale, pushing up to a comfortable seated position. And to bring breath back into the body and find a safely on our way. Let's finish with sun breath number 2. Hands out in front, inhale, open, exhale, close. 3 times. Ready, here we go. Inhale, open. Exhale, closed. Again, inhale, open. Exhale, closed. And one more fabulous time. Inhale, open. Exhale, closed. Palms together, hands back at the heart, and namaste.
That's great.
Thank you, guys. See you next week.
We go there, right? He's moving.